London, in the 1600s, was a city balanced on a knife's edge between medieval past and modern future, a place where Shakespeare's plays premiered while plague corpses piled in the streets, where fortunes were made in new global trade while religious fanatics plotted to blow up Parliament. This cramped, filthy, vibrant metropolis of 200,000 souls was becoming the heart of an emerging empire, yet it remained vulnerable to forces beyond human control. Disease, fire, and the constant threat of political upheaval. The Thames flowed brown with sewage and industrial waste, yet it carried ships laden with spices, silk, and tobacco from distant continents. Timber-framed houses leaned drunkenly over narrow lanes where nobles in silk brushed past beggars in rags. Today, advanced AI technology allows us to transform period engravings, maps, and paintings into photorealistic recreations, bringing this lost world back to life. Join me as we step into the London our ancestors once knew, a city that would be utterly destroyed by fire in 1666 and rebuilt into something entirely new. The Thames, London's highway and sewer. Stand on London Bridge in 1605, and you're standing on one of the medieval world's greatest engineering achievements and one of its strangest urban spaces. This isn't just a bridge, it's a street lined with buildings, shops rising 4 or 5 stories on both sides, creating a dark tunnel through which traffic flows. The houses actually overhang the river, their upper stories supported by massive timber beams. Shops sell everything: fabric, food, jewelry, books. Some wealthy merchants live here, in houses perched precariously above the rushing water. But look down through the gaps. The Thames below is London's lifeline and its toilet. Every type of waste imaginable flows into it. Human sewage from thousands of privies, blood and offal from Smithfield Meat Market, chemical runoff from tanneries and dye works, dead animals, trash, everything. At low tide, the mud banks are exposed, and mudlarks, often children, wade through the filth searching for anything valuable: coins, nails, rope, coal. Yet this same river is also London's highway. Thousands of wherries, small boats rowed by watermen, carry passengers across and along the Thames. It's faster and safer than navigating London's nightmare streets. The watermen are legendary for their rough manners and colorful language. They shout, argue, jostle for customers, and compete for space on the crowded waterway. Watch the bridge's southern end. Mounted on tall pikes are human heads, the decomposed remains of traitors executed at the tower. There are dozens of them, weather-beaten skulls that were once living people who committed treason, real or imagined. In 1605, this will include conspirators from the Gunpowder Plot, men who nearly succeeded in blowing up King James I and the entire Parliament. Their heads will rot here for years as warning to others. The bridge itself is a bottleneck. Only one bridge spans the Thames in central London, forcing all road traffic through this single point. Carts, horses, pedestrians, livestock all squeeze through, creating chaos. The noise is overwhelming. Wheels on cobblestones, animals bellowing, merchants shouting, watermen cursing from below. Downstream, you can see the Tower of London, that grim Norman fortress that serves as palace, prison, armory, and treasury. Political prisoners rot in its cells. Torture happens in its chambers. Executions on Tower Hill draw massive crowds who cheer as axes fall and heads roll. In 1601, the Earl of Essex was beheaded there for leading a failed rebellion. In 1618, Sir Walter Raleigh will face the same fate after years of imprisonment. The city, a maze of medieval streets. Step off the bridge into the city of London proper, and you enter a claustrophobic warren of narrow lanes and alleys that twist and turn with no apparent logic. These streets weren't planned. They evolved over centuries, following medieval property lines and ancient paths. Some are so narrow that people in upper-story windows can shake hands across the street. The houses lean at alarming angles, their upper stories jutting out over the street in jettied construction. This maximizes living space but blocks sunlight, creating perpetually dim lanes that smell of rot, smoke, and human waste. There's no sewage system. Waste goes into cesspits in cellars or courtyards, which are periodically emptied by night soil men who cart the contents outside the city walls. But the pits often overflow, contaminating wells and creating health hazards. The streets themselves are unpaved dirt or, at best, rough cobblestones. In rain, they become rivers of mud mixed with sewage, garbage, and animal droppings. Stepping outside means ruining your shoes unless you're wealthy enough to wear expensive boots or be carried in a sedan chair. The gentry wear platforms called pattens to elevate them above the muck. Every trade clusters in its own district, a holdover from medieval guild organization. Walk through Cheapside, the main commercial street, and you'll pass Goldsmiths Row, where luxury shops glitter with expensive goods behind leaded glass windows. Turn down another street and you're in an area of fabric merchants, then metal workers, then booksellers near St. Paul's Cathedral. The noise is constant and layered. Church bells ring every 15 minutes. Street vendors cry their wares: hot pies, fresh milk, knives to grind. Craftsmen hammer, saw, and bang in hundreds of workshops. Carts rattle over stones, animals bleat and low. Arguments erupt constantly over deals gone wrong, prices disputed, insults exchanged. Look at the people. The wealthy wear elaborate clothing, men in doublets, breeches, and cloaks, women in farthingales that make their skirts extend several feet. The fabrics are expensive: silk, velvet, fine wool, all dyed in rich colors. Ruffs, those ridiculous neck ornaments that look like fabric wheels, are still fashionable in the early 1600s, requiring special supports and careful washing with starch. The poor wear rough wool or linen, often patched and stained, the same clothes day after day until they fall apart. Many go barefoot. Children are miniature adults in their dress, expected to work as soon as they're able. Apprentices sweep shops, run errands, and learn trades through years of unpaid labor. Old St. Paul's Cathedral dominates the city skyline, its massive Gothic spire rising over 500 feet, making it one of the tallest buildings in Europe. But this isn't the St. Paul's that exists today. This medieval cathedral, begun in 1087, is showing its age. The spire was struck by lightning in 1561 and never rebuilt, leaving the building truncated and less impressive. Inside, St. Paul's is less sacred space than public square. The central aisle, called Paul's Walk, is London's premier meeting place. Lawyers meet clients. Merchants negotiate deals. Servants seek employment. News is exchanged. Gossip circulated. Business cards distributed. People treat it like an indoor street, a sheltered space for commerce and conversation. This commercialization horrifies church authorities, but they're powerless to stop it. The nave is lined with booksellers' stalls. Advertisements are posted on columns. The noise during services makes worship nearly impossible. Pickpockets work the crowds. Prostitutes solicit clients in the shadows. The sacred and profane coexist in ways that would shock modern sensibilities. The cathedral is also where Paul's Cross stands, an outdoor pulpit where sermons are delivered to crowds gathered in the churchyard. These aren't just religious events. They're political theater. Government announcements are made here. Controversial preachers attack royal policy. During times of religious tension, Catholic versus Protestant rhetoric can trigger riots. The churchyard itself is the center of London's book trade. Dozens of booksellers operate here, selling everything from Bibles to plays to scandalous pamphlets. This is where Shakespeare's works are sold as cheap quartos, considered ephemeral entertainment, not great literature. Ben Jonson, Christopher Marlowe, and other playwrights frequent these shops, checking sales, arguing with publishers, stealing ideas from competitors. The Great Fire, the future that awaits. This medieval London, this cramped, filthy, vibrant city, has only decades left. In September 1666, a fire will start in a bakery on Pudding Lane. Fanned by strong winds, it will rage for 4 days, consuming 13,000 houses, 87 churches, and St. Paul's Cathedral. The old medieval city will be almost completely destroyed, leaving 70,000 of London's 80,000 inhabitants homeless. But from those ashes will rise a new London: wider streets, stone buildings, classical architecture, Christopher Wren's magnificent new St. Paul's. The medieval past will be erased, replaced by something more orderly, more modern, more suited to an emerging empire. But in the 1600s, that future is unimaginable. Londoners go about their business, living in this overcrowded, disease-ridden, dangerous city because it's where opportunity exists, where fortunes can be made, where life happens at an intensity impossible in the countryside. They endure the filth, the plague, the crime, the chaos, because London is becoming the center of the world. This was just a glimpse of London in the 1600s, a medieval city on the verge of transformation. If you enjoyed this step back in time, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss where we're going next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the past.